something a little different for you. A nighttime drive. Make sure the camera's still recording. Close the little door so we don't get reflections from the screen. Woohoo! Listen to that finely tuned 1.4 liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engine with a fresh valve cover and gasket that does not leak anymore. Good evening. Thanks for tuning in. My main reason for doing this at night was just to show you all the new fancy headlights that we put in and how well they work. They're actually quite a bit brighter than the previous ones. I don't know if they were just wearing out or what, but they've got a really broad beam pattern right in front of the car, and then they kind of focus out further away from the car a little bit. I really like it. I wish they were just a little bit closer together, but I don't think I'm going to worry about making any adjustments on it. The previous headlights, the bulbs, they would almost come to a point. The two bulbs would come together, the beam focus. And that's all in the light bulb. That has nothing to do with the adjustments of the headlight. I've never adjusted these headlights. They've always illuminated just fine, other than the factory halogens were just too dim. So I'm going to give the car just a minute here to do its thing. I'm actually about 10 minutes late walking out the door tonight. Finished up a few things, sent out a few emails, a couple of projects in the works. That's okay. So I know previous videos, not these drive videos, but when I'm at the house, focus in on the Boeing plant from my front yard. You see those bright lights on top of the buildings there? Those are what we're seeing from my front yard. So probably mostly the building on the right over there. That's the new composite wing center that was first gear, not fourth gear or third. But, yeah, the building that's in front of us now, that's the one that really illuminates. Oofta. So yeah, valve cover is going good. Haven't smelled heavy oil burning. I get just a slight whiff every once in a while. Just a little bit of residual on the side of the block. I want to crawl underneath this thing and just see how bad it looks underneath the motor. We do a little bit of cleanup. See what I say about the beams. You can see them straight ahead there. I guess one's a little bit lower than the other. Actually, one almost looks a little bit brighter than the other. But I don't think I'm going to mess with it too much, because usually your driver's side headlight is just aimed a hair lower than the passenger side for the oncoming cars. No dew on the window tonight. Last few nights it's been pretty wet. Heavy dew, heavy mist, but it's nice and dry tonight. Of course, it's 56 degrees right now out there. A little bit warmer. Got a rattle over here on the side somewhere. Doesn't want to go away. Maybe it's in the dashboard, not the door panel. Little car's falling apart. Yeah, nice beam on the headlights. I like that. I seem to remember those other ones when I first put them in. They were pretty had a nice broad pattern right in front of the car too, but maybe I just got used to them. And what else we got to yak about? Well, on a sad note, today's the 1 month mark since I seen my little buddy, my little black cat. Still bothers me. But we're getting along without her. I go out in the front yard every night before I go to bed. I have to say goodnight to Kitty. Having a whole herd of cats, there's cat fur, whiskers, and everything all over this house. And I know they jump in and out of the bathtub all the time. And this guy's got to be a speed demon. He's probably going to cut me off up here. There's got to be one further. He's going to go up and cut. No, he's going to cut me off. It was behind me. Had to go one more ahead. But, yeah, this weekend I found one of Kitty's whiskers in the bathtub. And I've used the tub since she's gone missing. So I don't know where it came from, but it's a definite black whisker. So, did she put it there? She'd come back and pay a little visit in the afterlife? Give me a little something? Yeah, that kind of got to me a little bit. Of course, I had to look at the other cats, and I mean, they're gray cats, and they got light gray and almost white whiskers. That wasn't one of your guys's, so somebody must have picked it up somewhere in the carpet and drug it along with. Go, Speed Racer, go! Slow down in the tunnel and punch it because he's a tough guy. With his hanging exhaust pipes. Downshift, punch it. Man, I only get 10 miles an hour out of my truck. Gee, no wonder you drive like an idiot. Right over to the fast lane and throttle up. I only got 60,000 miles out of that transmission. Man, I could never keep tires on this thing. Duh. We've got going on. I found that cabin filtration unit behind the glove box. Like you saw in that video, I put a HEPA unit in, and well, it sure smells cleaner in here. Actually smells like the air in my house because I've got a couple of HEPA filters that I run in the house. Pretty sure that was the original. Maybe they changed it in for the 30,000 mile. I don't remember if they did or not. So here next year, this thing's going to go in for its 60,000 mile. They made comment about it when I took it in for the oil change, but it's like, nah, I got 7,000 more miles. That's about a year's worth of driving. Next oil change, it'll go in for the 60,000. Have to see what the book recommends that is. Hopefully they won't do the cabin air. Because that filter I put in there was almost 30 bucks. talking to a buddy at work about that, and he made a comment about his truck's got them too. He's like, geez, for the price, I should go find a K&N. And I says, yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Go find a reusable filter. Even if it's $60, that's the same price as 2 new paper filters. Every 15, 20,000 miles, pull it out, clean it, re-oil it, slap it back in. No, the car's been doing good again. Definitely want to get into get those fog lights fixed. That's been several years now. I've had that one burnt out. I got LED bulbs for them. I just never went in to replace them, mainly because everything I read said that you had to pull the front bumper cover off, and there's 2 little tabs you got to be really careful about because they're easy to break. But the book says you just go in through the front wheel well liner. Now, I've tried to go underneath, there's a plastic cover, but I just couldn't get the clearance to get the bulb out. I could unscrew it, but I couldn't back it out enough. But the book says, yeah, you just pull the inner fender liner out. You can access it right there, so... try that if it's not raining this weekend. It sounds like it might be a little wet. There I am, ripping along at 61 and 55. What's this bozo doing? Obviously I'm going way too slow for him. To have a lot of highway patrol out on this bridge, but I sure don't see them anymore. Not that that slowed people down. So we talked about the valve cover and it's not leaking. We talked about the air filter in the cabin, that's doing good. Gotta do the fog lights so I can have them back. Headlights are doing real good. Next year probably be an expensive year for this car. Probably put new tires on it. I think they're going to be good through the winter, although the dealership was pushing, yeah, I'd replace them before the winter, but you know, I looked at them again after the service and it's like, nah, there's some life left in these. I'm not noticing, you know, it's not wandering in the wet roads. It's not hydroplaning every time I hit a puddle. So I'm gonna run another year with these. But I think next year is going to be the year to swap them out. Probably try to get through the summer on them, but next autumn. Or when it goes in for its 60,000 mile, which should probably plan for late summer, early fall. Don't quite do 10,000 miles a year on this thing. But it still drives real nice, still gets good fuel economy. Seats are holding up, interior's still looking good. Got a few rattles that have cropped up, but usually I got the radio turned on. Those kind of drown out the squeaks and rattles. I really only hear them when I'm making these videos. I'm not too concerned about them. Exterior's holding up pretty good, other than the dings and scrapes I got in it from that parking lot at work. to, get at least a few more years out of it. Jimmy has a definite vacuum leak. I definitely heard it this weekend when I drove it up to the store a few times. And it stalled out pretty hard a few times. A lot more than it normally does, so I just need to get under there with a can of brake clean and just pull the air cleaner off. See if I got a cracked line or I'm sucking air on the manifold or something. Get that spark knock issue figured out. And I mean, essentially it's a good driving truck. I'd like to figure out the rear brakes again, because I can't use the parking brake without it. They're tightening up and they drag a little bit when you start driving it. So that turn lane just turned, so it's not going to be available for me, and I'm going to wind up sitting there for a while this late at night, so we're just going to go on through to the next light. Coasting on down to 35 miles an hour. Oh, I didn't fuel last payday. Got just under half a tank left. I could probably make it. I got another week till the next payday. I could probably make this tank stretch. It'll be 4 weeks on a tank of gas. Not that I can't afford to top the tank off, I just like to buy fuel right around the payday. I gotta get tabs for the pickup too. Bought myself a new office chair. It's a gaming chair. My old one, I think I even did a video on it a couple years ago. The seat cushion broke down and it was starting to hurt my back and hip issues, and legs and feet were going numb. And actually talked to another buddy at work who just bought one and told me the name of it. It was a decent price. So problem I got is every cloth chair I've ever owned, the seat cushion lasts forever. The cloth usually tears after 7 or 8 years of use, but every fake leather chair that I've bought, they only last a couple years. Why can't I find a good gaming chair in cloth? I don't want an office chair, because I want something with adjustable arms, and I want a reclining back, because that's kind of my leisure chair. But I usually just have to wind up buying a cheap leather chair, only getting a few years out of it. I shouldn't say cheap, but this last one I spent, it was just shy of $400, I think. This latest one was about $200, but it's got good reviews and a nice reclining back. The seat cushion's a little flatter than I like, but it's deeper too. It's longer, and this one has a nice, has a nice footrest that slides out from underneath. So we'll see. We'll get a few years out of it, I hope. Anywho, I'm going to shut y'all off, get inside, edit this. Headlights are working fantastic. And yeah, we'll see what we can get into for the weekend. We will talk to y'all later. Bye-bye. Boy, the lights just turned off and the hum stopped. You can really hear the fans, little cooling fans on those light bulbs. The car just went silent. Okay, bye-bye.